What if you went all in? Like, not tiptoe in, not $5 here, $10 there, not 10 minutes here, 30 minutes there, but all in. Every dime that you got, all the extra time that you got. What if you took all of that and literally invested in yourself? What type of woman would you be? What type of person would you curate that's in your head and that shows up in the world and offer the world something? Offer yourself something. What if you can retire off of being you? What if you can live a life that you actually seen growing up on TV and you created that life for yourself in a way that fits you? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how investing in you and what it does for you. Just a little bit. We're not going to get heavy into it, but I think it's worth a try. I don't know. You let me know what you think. So today I want to kind of discuss about the investment of myself. So I am my biggest investment, right? And what I'm currently experiencing is I am gaining offers through jobs. And through these offers with jobs, I'm realizing that obviously I have the skills and the capabilities in order to progress and to move up. So knowing my worth and then projecting that worth to a recruiter or to human resources or something like that, it requires me to have a level of confidence and understand who I am. But also with that on the other side, I have to understand that if they don't see me being worth that much, then that's just what the answer is. And I have to respect that. That doesn't mean that it's accurate or it's true. It just means that's just how they feel about the effort and the work that I put in. But the thing about this is what's important to me is that I set a goal for myself. I set a goal that I have to make this much money in order to live the life that I see for myself. One, when I bring in a second income, there's a certain amount of my second income that I need to have in order to be a part of that life. But living off of one income, I need at least this much in order to function because I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to deny myself certain things if I don't have to. And I don't want to keep on doing odd jobs in order to make a living. And I feel like I barely do the things that I necessarily want to do. Like the basic stuff, yeah. But that's another conversation. Investing in myself is knowing that what it costs to contribute to the lifestyle that I want and what I have to do in order to live and sustain that life that I want. So investing in myself is top priority. I am the main character in my life. Like, of course, I have children. I have one child that's away at college and another child that's almost there. So my life requires me to primarily focus on myself, because my kids are grown or bigger. But even with them in the home, because they're not like 23, 24, where they can go out and have these same type of jobs or whatever. So I still have a sense of financial responsibility to them. So I had to sit down and really calculate, what does it cost in order to maintain the life that I have and the life that I want to have? That means budgeting. That means doing research on my income or other ways I can bring in income, because you don't want to just have one income. We are Americans. One income, unfortunately, is not. It could be taken from you. But Investing in myself is knowing what I deem worthy of my time. The stress that I'm going to take on, the workload that I'm going to take on, all of these things play a part. So to invest in myself means I must know my worth when it comes down to work. And that's important because when I was in survival mode, I would take whatever a job would give me, or I would negotiate maybe $1 or $2 because it's like, hey, I'm going to try to get all I can get. But now that I'm not in survival mode and I have license and certificates and degrees to back me up for that, I'm expecting to have more of an opportunity. Now, whether they see that as important or not, I'm going to just have to go with another company that either does, or I'm going to have to make a way myself in some way, somehow. That's just the process of my thinking. And I'm very grateful for the jobs that I have. I'm very grateful for the positions that I have, but they have to be that same way too, because it took work and it took effort for me to get to the place that I'm at. And I'm sure there's other people, but those other people did not apply and those other people did not get an offer. And if they did get an offer, if they accept or don't accept, that has nothing to do with me. We're talking about my investment of myself and me knowing the day-to-day activities that I have to do. And I have to remember that and keep that in the forefront. I have to make a certain amount of money a year in order to sustain myself and abstain and sustain the life that I want to live. Who agrees and disagrees isn't my issue. This is for me. This is for my choice because it's my body, it's my time, it's my mind, it's the effort that I put into it. But another way of investing in myself is the association that I have around me. I am my biggest investment. As an able body with an able mind, I have control of what's around me because what's around me feeds me. And what I take in and let nurture my mind and my body speaks a lot about how I feel about myself. And that is something that you have to take in account. If I invest in certain type of friendships and those friendships do not help me get to a certain particular level of life or the life that I want to have, or they don't share a sense of the life that I see for myself, that is a bad investment. I don't want to be a bad investment, nor do I want to invest bad things in me. I know we want to live in a world where it's just like, oh, well, everybody is welcome, everybody is loved. In survival mode, I took what I can get. Loyalty was the only thing that I needed. Respect was the only thing that I needed in survival mode. Well, I'm not in survival mode anymore. I'm living a healthy life. And I'm working on trying to maintain that healthy life or to make it better. So the people that I have around me have to reflect those same things. They have to want to have a healthy life. They have to want to try to do better. Some of my friends are in survival mode. Because I'm going through this change does not mean that my friends are going through this change or my family is going through this change. But the way I associate with them plays a part on my investment. And that's something that we have to understand. The people that we deal with, that we have around us continuously, shows what we invest in. And that's even from a standpoint of relationships. The man that I choose to date, the man that I choose to give part of my mind to, the man that I choose to submit to must be a good investment. And I'm not saying this in a transactional way. There is a form of transaction in relationships. There is. That's just the honest truth. But I am not a woman who is, you do for me, I do for you. If you do for me, then I do for you. Like it's not like that for me. He has his strong points. I have my strong points. And we bring those together and then we grow and we make more of whatever it is that we're making more of that sustains this relationship. But the man that I invest my time in, my emotions in, my nurturing aspect in, and anything else that I give in my relationship must be of a good investment. That does not mean my partnership has to be perfect. That does not mean that he has to have his things at 10 times higher than me. Like, yes, I would love that, but this is just me. This is who I am and the type of partner I choose to deal with. But they have to be a good investment because these people will be around me regularly. And I know the status that I want to carry within myself, and I know how I invest in myself. So therefore, I want my partner to be able to do the same thing for me too. That also means for the family that I keep around too. The family that I keep around says a lot about me too. We cannot choose who we're born into, what family we're born into, but we can also pick though. And we could pick the family that we choose to deal with. Yes, it's not like how grandma used to have it in some families. Yes, once you lose a parent, the dynamic change. Things happen in life. Everybody's experience in life. And again, just like the relationship, just like the friendship, because I am in this place of leaving survival mode or being out of survival mode, that does not mean other people are. That does not deem me better or less than or thinking I'm bougie or thinking I'm better. It just simply means that I am not in the place that you are. And I want to maintain this place that I'm in. So for family, the family that I hang around have to be a good investment for me. Now realize this conversation is not me telling you something. This conversation is me reiterating things that I know that are beneficial to me. I'm talking to myself. I am here reminding myself that I am the biggest investment that I will ever invest in. And ways to invest in myself is the people that I hang around, the person that I commit my life to and commit a part of my life to, and the job that I accept because that is my time. Time is the currency that I cannot get back. Time is the currency that all of us get the same amount every single day. Some people don't make it to the full day of that currency. But if I plan on making it to that full day of that currency, this is what I feel like it is worth. I have to invest in my time wisely. I have to invest in myself wisely because the way that I see myself is the way that people will have to, in a sense, treat me. And I want people to understand what that means as an investment. Just like with the job, with the people that I associate with. Because I deem myself worthy of this, that does not mean that they deem me as worthy. Now, can I do something about that? Of course I can. I can choose not to be friends with them. I can choose not to date this person. I can choose not to be around these family members because I want to be with somebody or be friends with somebody or have relationship with families that deem me just as worthy. But because I picked that person and I feel like they should look at me that way, that doesn't mean that they are going to look at me that way. Mind you, this is not fantasy. This is realistically life. Because to us, we are the most important person in the universe. And we like to be humble and say, oh no, we're all equal. We're all love. Let it come down to life or death between you and another person. You're going to always choose that other person and choose yourself to live. You're always, unless it's like your children or maybe your partner or your parents or something like that, like different strokes for different folks. I'm not here to get into that part. We're talking about investment and being realistic with ourselves. And realistically, this is myself. The people that I have around me, it shows how much I invest in myself. The job that I pick shows how much I invest in myself. But more importantly, than anybody or anything else, I have to see the investment of myself, the things that I do to bring value to myself for me. Education is one and health is one. And what I'm starting to realize about myself is that I only do some of the work when it comes down to investing in myself. And what I mean by that is education, I'm not lacking in. I can always be more educated. I'm not the smartest person, but I thrive and feed off education. I love education now. Now that I'm not in survival mode, that survival mode education was not top priority. Experience was. Because I needed experience to survive. I didn't care how I got that experience. I just wanted to make it through and not have to worry about somebody trying to get over on me or somebody trying to do something to me or whatever the case may be. But now I'm not in survival mode. I'm in a healthy state of mind, a healthy place. So therefore, the way I invest in myself now has to be different. And I need to do better with my health. I'm not sick or anything. Thank God I'm fine. But also, too, I can do so much better. I can eat better. I can be more consistent with my workout. I can be more consistent of how I maintain my home, where I live, how I maintain my car, how I maintain my money. There's different aspects of my investment in myself that I can do so much better with. And I know people say, well, you need to have a cap or you will always want more. Right now, I don't have a cap because I want more than what I have right now. I love who I am. Don't get me wrong. I am beautiful. I'm beautiful, but I'm also overweight and it hurts. I am beautiful, but I also can carry myself better. Everybody that meets me, their first investment of me or known of me does not have to be of my survival and how I made it. My investment for myself can be better so that I can receive better from jobs, from friends, from partners, from family members, all of that aspect. But I must do the first initial investment first. Because look at it like this too. What's something? I'm going to use hair quality. I don't know if everybody can follow this because most people can follow this. Hair quality, weave, right? So you know how when you get the bundles from the beauty supply, right? And then you get the other bundles that's supposed to be like better quality. You could get them from the beauty supply, or you can get them from a private vendor. You see the different quality in that, right? But then you see the quality of virgin hair, never been chemicalized, never been nothing. The most process it's been through is that track that it's sewn on or that glue piece, I can't think of the name, or that micro link that is put. That's the most process it's been. But overall, the hair quality is good. Now, say you have a certain income, right? And before you can only afford the beauty supply hair, right? You can invest in that. But then you get a little bit more money, a little bit more experience because you know how certain hair supposed to feel. You know the quality of it. You know how long it lasts. You know how it makes you look. You know all the different ways you could wear it and what you can curl with it, what you can't curl with it, if you could reuse it. So you get better quality. You're investing in a better quality, a better standard of care for the type of hair that you want, right? And then you meet raw. You meet virgin. You meet non-processed. That means the natural color, the natural texture. All of it is at its natural state. You start investing in that differently. You start to read where it's from. You start to understanding the texture. You're more indulged in it, and you spend your money wisely. You stick with that vendor. You see the value in that vendor. You see the value in the quality that he sells you. You see everything of that man. At this point, that man is like your dream man. That vendor is your dream partner. If you wear a lot of weaves. And if you don't wear weave, think about product. So that's what I mean far as myself, far as investments. I I am at a point where it's just like I met the better quality, but now I'm ready for raw version, unprocessed, that part for myself. I want to eat better quality food. I want to do quality workouts. I want to have quality friends. I want to have quality partners. I want to be around the family members who have quality. I want to have quality jobs. I want to have things that actually benefit me and help me enjoy this life on earth. We all have to start somewhere, but we all have to progress. My investment is higher. My investment for myself is higher, and you have to believe that. You have to know for a fact that you are the biggest investment. You are the best investment. You are the person with the most return. It doesn't matter what anybody else think or how anybody see. And I want to put this disclaimer out too, because I'm learning that you kind of change in the person that you are with age. I'm learning too that you can change your quality and your investment and how you invest, no matter if you're with a person, the same person. It does not matter. It does not matter at all. If you want to have more quality and be better, you have to gradually go into that. And you can communicate that with your partner. You do not need to change partners because you want better quality, if that makes sense. Now, if it's abuse, then that's different. You know, to some extent, yes, that's true. But once you make commitments, certain levels of commitments like marriage, once you make commitment of children and different things like that, you have to learn how to work around those agreements. Because that's even with a job. With a job, I agreed to work here for such and such time with this pay and these standards. But now that I want different, that does not mean I get to abandon my job. I need my job, one, but two, I have to learn how to work through that. Okay, I agreed to work for this job. Okay, cool. For the next 6 months, I can't change a job. That means for this next 6 months, I need to accumulate a better way of handling when I'm in situations like this. I need to learn the skill of adapting. I need to learn whatever you need to learn. Like each situation has something to learn from. So to me, investing in myself and wanting to have more for myself, that does not mean I get to stop the agreement that I'm already in. No, I have to work through that process. Now back to this, back to the regular schedule. Investing in me is priority. You have to be the priority. That does not mean that you're a bad mama. That does not mean you are a bad girlfriend, a bad wife, a bad employee. That does not mean that. You still have to respect your other titles and your other positions. You still have to respect that you have children. That means I am going to care for you like I will care for myself, but I get a little bit more ranking in this. I get a little bit more time because the time that I'm giving you, I need to replenish for myself in order to be able to give you that time. For my partner, I agree to be in partnership with you. So that means that I still have my obligations of giving you what you need. I can't just abandon you like that because I no longer want this type of quality. I want of a different type of quality. No, I must try to maneuver and work with you in this growth, encourage you to grow, give you time to grow, or we're not going to grow the same, but grow in a way of harmony. Because I don't know about y'all, that whole starting over shit, I don't see how girls do that like that. I don't see how men do that. Constantly like, oh, I'm done with a nigga, I'm done. On to the next. No, no ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am, that's me. That's me. That doesn't mean that the women who do that are less than or I'm greater than. No, you have your way of doing things. I have my way. Family members. If I decide that, hey, I no longer want to kick it every other weekend, every holiday at the family barbecue or playing cards at the crib and kicking it and doing this, that's okay. Hey, cuzzo, how about this time for the 4th of July, we go on a cruise? That way ain't nobody got to cook. The whole family can come. Or how about for the 4th of July this time, we go up to Alabama or somewhere else, like wherever you choose to go. Or, hey, since we get married this year or whatever, instead of just having a wedding here, maybe we'll have a destination wedding or whatever you want to do, like with your family. Hey, cuzzo, I'm switching over to trying to be an entrepreneur and I want to do this. Y'all want to come along? Y'all want to try? Like, I can't cut the obligations of like, oh yeah, cuz I was fucking with you hard a few weeks ago, but now everything changed. I ain't fucking with you no more because you ain't on the level that I'm on. That's ignorance. That's ignorance. And then you find yourself in a spot where you don't cut all these people off because you're so progressive. You're doing so much better. You're this and you're that. And you find out really you didn't have to do all of that. Some cases you do, but that's not all the cases. And we also have to remember when we are scrolling through social media, these people are not the blueprint. They are just an example. Everybody's in this place of you can't fuck with people. You can't trust people. Like, you got to protect. That is not reality for everybody. And like I said before, if you find yourself in a situation where you have to keep cutting people off, they're not the problem. You are. And that's just keeping it a buck. Go get therapy. It's a real life situation. But anyway, investing in myself and learning more about myself, I'm learning what's around me, the choices that I pick, the job that I pick, the friendship, the family, the relationship, and what I indulge in myself. You are your biggest investment. I'm going to keep saying that. You are your biggest investment. If you want to go out and have better and do better and see better, you must make that initiation first. And you must make that initiation consistently. There is a difference between being productive and being enthusiastic. There's a difference. Productive means to produce, get things done. I don't want to look like I'm a good investment. I actually want to be an investment. And anybody who's in that era of making money and learning how to get into stocks, into trade and all that, they know the difference between looking good and what's actually good. Think about that relationship that you got in. It was like, man, this person looked good. And then you met them and they were rotten. Or let's take it back. Even think about yourself, because we all hit that fake it till you make it moment. You look like you got your stuff together, but do you really? Do you really have things together like you say you do? And that's something that I had to reflect for myself. And now that I'm at this point where I want quality, now I'm at this point where I want to have better jobs. I want to have more income. I want to have better type friends. I want to be surrounded around the good family members. I want to be in a good quality relationship. I'm learning that The investment starts with me. What do I think about myself? What do I think what's around me? And you take that as far as you need to take it. We don't have to walk around and be so intense like, oh, I wanted to look like this. I wanted to be this. I wanted to have this. Understand that you're human, that sometimes you fuck up and sometimes you're not as good as you think you are. I'm just being real. You're not. Even though you think that you are, even though you know that you are $100 million worth woman, everybody don't see you that way. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because they're busy thinking about who they are and what they're going through. But I'm saying this in a sense of if you want different in life, things are going to have to be different. You're no longer in survival mode. You are now living in healthy conditions where you can actually be something. And that something is the person that you deem that you want to be. I am just an example. I am not the blueprint. So here's my question to you. What are you investing in that's making you a good investment? What are you doing for yourself to show others how to invest in you? Because nobody's going to do you better than you do yourself, and nobody's going to love you more than you love yourself. People may be patient with you. People may be understanding with you while you are in the place that you're in. But they could still never, ever love you more than you love yourself. They can treat you better than you treat yourself. They can say more kind words to you than you say to yourself. But they still don't love you more than you love yourself. It's not possible. They could be more patient with you than you're patient with yourself. But you have to love yourself because you don't even see the value of how much they love you until you learn to love yourself. Because what are you measuring it off of? So it goes back to this. What are you investing in to show that you're a good investment? And like always, I appreciate y'all time listening to me rant. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. I ask you guys to keep it up. And I'll see you guys next week. All right? Bye.